The whole awareness argument is a good and a bad thing, I think. I think it's good because I think the monitor is, personally I do think the monitor is useful for this indication. But when I use monitoring, I'm not using it primarily for that purpose. I'm using it to titrate the anesthetic that I give to my patient. So I think I'm benefiting every single patient that I care for by using the technology. And perhaps 1 in 1,000 I'm benefiting by not allowing them to have the awareness that they otherwise would have while I was taking care of them. So I think I think it's an important discussion. I think it matters, but I don't think it's not the big picture. And for people who focus on it like it's the big picture, I think it misses the whole point of, or one of the points of why monitoring is beneficial.
I'm probably more interested in the low number now than I am the high number, because I'm not worried about my ability to have somebody anesthetized. I'd rather than not have a lot more anesthetic than I need.
I've done a lot of people with a very low amount of anesthetic, and I would have never done that had I not been able to look at their brain monitoring and see that that seems to be enough for that particular person. I've had people that were, couldn't have anesthesia for this or that reason, had to come as an emergency, and I have to give them an anesthetic, and that's one of those cases that you dread. And I have given them a small amount of propofol. I've induced people on amazingly small amounts of propofol, and then given them a small amount of maintenance that I would have never done. But it was just what they needed, and it didn't impact their hemodynamics much, or at all. Nice railroad track hemodynamics, but a very, very small amount of gas.
My experience is that for most people, if you try the BIS monitor out with an open but skeptical mind and use it regularly, maybe not for every case, but for the majority of your cases, every once in a while it gives you a piece of information that really surprises you. And initially the doubters doubt the device, but after a while you begin to find that the device really is telling you things you really didn't suspect, and you begin to doubt the device less and begin to realize that some of the fundamental assumptions we make about what we think we know we're doing when we give anesthesia sometimes just aren't true. They are most of the time. But there's probably a significant minority of the time when things aren't quite the way we think they are, and that if you're not looking at the effects on the brain, you're really making some sweeping assumptions that really aren't true.
If you will use this monitor on all of your patients for the next month, for 4 weeks religiously, without regard to whether or not it makes sense, I guarantee you'll see what I saw, because that's what I did. You'll see more variability in patient responses, and you'll see the value of that information, but only after you get a large enough database. You cannot do 3 cases and know how to use the BIS. There's no way, or even see a benefit.